Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Nails and Creative Creations. Welcome to A Little Bit Rustic. This is a challenge that I do every month, and I'm so glad you're here. And this month, Annie from Indiana Jones is my co-host. So if you are stopping by for the first time, welcome. And if you're just one of my friends and you've been here for a while, I'm so glad you're here. So let's just get right into this. Okay, so I've got 2 pickle jars, and I'm not too worried about that label. You're not going to be able to see it. So the one I was able to get the label off, and the one I wasn't able to. So I'm just going to be taking my white chalk paint that I made, and that's 2 parts paint, 1 part ground up chalk. And you just mix it up. Now, if it's a little too thick, you can add a little bit more water, a little bit of paint. Or if it's not thick enough, you could add a little bit more of the chalk. It's totally up to you, your preference. So because this is a chalk paint, it pretty much sticks a lot of times to glass. Sometimes I will use Mod Podge on it first, but this stuck really well, so I didn't have any issues at all. So I ended up doing, I think, 2 coats of this of the paint. Now this set of chalk paint, I made it kind of thick, so that way I didn't have any issues with it. Just to let you know, because I had shingles last month, and I'm now on vacation, I did this video before I left home, and I was running late because of the not feeling well. I only did one project this video, but I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you guys really like it as well. So I'm just covering this jar completely with the white, and I do that with both of the jars. Okay, now that those are all finished, then with the 2 coats, then I'm going to grab some, I think that's nutmeg brown, and I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of it, and I'm use that old chippy brush that I've had for like 20-30 years. And I am just going to dry brush a little bit of this on just to give it a little bit of texture. I'm not doing a heavy dry brushing, but I am going to do a light dry brushing, like I said, just to give this jar just a little bit of texture. Also, don't forget to go down into the description box. Down there is going to be the link to, of course, to my channel, as well as to Indiana Jones and the playlist. Also, I am a Plaid affiliate, and I have my affiliate, well, I have my link tree link down there, and when you go to that, it has all of my links on there, and you can go purchase a lot of the different things that I use. I have my Ladybug vacuum cleaner, my miter shears, different Plaid paints, and I'm adding stuff all of the time. And if you have any questions or anything, I love comments, so please don't forget to leave me comments. Hit that subscribe button as well, and give me a big old thumbs up, and like this video. I hope you guys stick around. I really love doing this, so I just hope you stick around, and we'll get right back into this. Now that I'm done painting those, I'm just grabbing my matte Mod Podge, and I'm just covering this so that if it gets bumped into or anything, I'm not going to lose the paint. The paint's not going to chip off as easily. And so I'm just giving it one good generous coat on both of these jars. And then I'm going to set them aside and let them dry. And then we will work on the rest of this project. Okay, now I've got these hangers. I got these from a thrift store for 99 cents, and the screws and everything came with them. And so I am just taking those off, and then I went out to my garage and grabbed these two extremely rustic pieces of wood. Now, I did not take sandpaper. I mean, I've got an orbited sander, and I could have sanded it down perfectly beautiful, but I didn't. So what I ended up doing is just taking my sanding block, and I just sanded the edges, like the tops, because it was kind of rough. Right there, I'm just kind of sanding those off just so that it doesn't get splinters or doesn't grab, my clothes or whatever. And I'm just very lightly, I mean, you can see there's even some nails stuck in that wood, and I'm not taking those out. I'm just going to leave it because that's the whole charm of Rustic. So I'm just kind of cleaning those up just a tiny bit. All that blackness that's on there, these were pallet wood, and I am not going to get rid of that. You can see the back has been, I don't know why they cut the wood like that, but it didn't bother me one single bit. There I am using that Ladybug vacuum. That is the greatest vacuum I've ever used, especially, well, not the greatest I've ever used, the greatest one I've ever used for a tabletop. Okay, so I grabbed my square and my drill, and I am just marking these, measuring it just so that I make sure that I get it in the center. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some pilot holes in there, and then I'm going to screw the hooks on top of that wood. And so I'm just, like I said, I'm being careful. I'm not going down through all the way until I lift it up on its side, and then I'm just going to screw it all the way through. And I do that on both of these so that I can get the pilot holes in first. What the pilot holes do is it keeps the screw from splintering or cracking your wood because it's much smaller, and so it just kind of opens up a space for the screws or nails to go through. So I always do pilot holes. So now here I'm putting on the screw bit, and I'm just going to screw those right into there. Really super simple. That wood is not a hard wood. It's I don't think it's a pine, but it's not a hard wood. So I end up doing that with both of them. And then we're going to go back to the jars because they'll be dry by then, because they're sitting there drying while we are doing this. And I've got a fan blowing on them. So once those are done, I'm going to grab some jute from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to start putting the hangers on these because these are going to hang from the wood. So I'm just going to start working on that. Of course, here I am getting a little dust and sawdust off of the table. I decided to go ahead and put the hooks on the back of these wood, and I just pulled, all pull tabs off of cans like vegetables, soup, because these work perfect. So I'm just going to be using these for the hooks, and there's some pokies, and so I'm just pushing those down, and I'm going to use hot glue and on this, and then I'm going to grab some felt, and put it over that for a little bit more stability. And I don't know if I showed it, but I went back in and I used my nail gun and secured it even more on there. And I don't have it sticking up too far, but I do have it sticking up just enough that you can slide it over a nail in the wall, or a wall hook, or whatever you use to hang things in your house. And like I said, this is really super simple to do. I'm also using that super glue from the Dollar Tree, so it'll have a hot glue and super glue on there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to hook this on. I had to wait for that glue gun to get heated up. And like I said, I'm just putting the those on with the super glue and the hot glue, just to make sure that they are secure so that they'll hang on the wall. Because the hook sticks out pretty far, but the jars do not stick out very far. Okay, now those are all secure, and we're just going to move to the jars. What we're going to do with the jars, hooking the jute on them, and then we're going to put some flowers in these. So I just kind of figured out how much of a loop that I want on here, and I'm not going to like wrap it around and turn and tie a knot. I'm actually going to use the it where I'm sticking it and then wrapping it around, and I'll have the loop part, so it will also be there. So that's how I'm securing it. Sorry, I'm out of the frame partly. I'm trying to not be out of the frame. So now I've got my loop, and now I'm just going to wrap it around till it completely covers all of the jar threads. And I'm tying a knot at the bottom there, and I'm going to hot glue that part, but then I'm going to start wrapping it around, and then I'll tie another knot when we get to the top, just so that it is completely secure, so that it will be secure hanging. Okay, now that that is finished, we're going to grab these white peonies and these daffodils, the yellow ones, and I'm just going to cut them apart and put half in each one of these jars, and then we're just going to hang it up and call this good. Now, I don't have a picture of it actually hanging because I forgot to take a picture, so I had to have my husband take the picture and send it to me, and he just took the pictures while they were sitting on my island, so you're going to see my cabinets behind it, but you'll still be able to see what it really looks like. And I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video and this creation. I think these are beautiful wall sconces, even though there's no lights. Now, of course, I could have not painted the jars and put lights down in there, and that's another way you could do it. There's a lot of different ways that you can make these. I really like just a little bit rustic. I don't go rustic all over, and I don't do a lot of distressing. Usually, sometimes I do, but not a lot. And I really like this project. The nice thing about this is you can change the flowers out for the season because they're not hot glued in there. They're not like stuck in there for good. These are just sitting in there, so I can change them out. This summer I can change them, or I can leave them. During the fall, Christmas, whatever season it is, I can just change these. So this is something that can stay up all year round. So please don't forget, again, like I said, go down to the description box. You can also find out all the information, as well as finding the playlist, the link, and everything. So, like I said, please, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You have a great day. Also, don't forget to be the Bible that somebody reads today. And you guys all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.